Hello, my name is Sona. I'm Rick.
My name is Dylan.
Hi, my name is Lieke.
I'm Bas de Blok van Scheldinga.
Hi, I'm Emma.
Hey, my name is Marloes.
And my partner is...
And my exchange partner.
My exchange partner is...
And my partner is...
Hi, my name is Christina.
Hi, my name is Julia. Hi, I'm Melanie.
Hi, my name is Caroline.
Hi, I'm Connor.
Hi, my name is Heather.
I go to Nelson High School. And I'm going to KSG.
I go to Nelson.
I go to KSG Apeldoorn.
And I go to Nelson.
And I'm in KSG Apeldoorn.
And I go to Nelson High School.
Go to the KSG.
And I go to Nelson High.
This year, the exchange between Burlington and our sister city Apeldoorn involved 3 high schools from Burlington who were partnered with 3 schools from Apeldoorn. Among these schools was Nelson High School, who was partnered with KSG Apeldoorn. Each of the schools had 7 representatives who were paired with a student from their partner school. The students hosted their partners as well as participated in scheduled group activities planned for the entire exchange group. The exchange began on October of 2013 with the arrival of the Dutch students in Burlington.
Well, when I went to Canada, it was the first time I flew across the Atlantic Ocean.
And continued when the Canadian students arrived in the Netherlands in April of 2014.
I'm just really excited. We're waiting for our first flight to Iceland, 5 hours.
It's 3 a.m. our time. It's 7 a.m. in Iceland. I'm so excited.
When I got off the plane in Amsterdam, I was so excited to see all my friends, and even though I was really tired, I didn't feel tired because I was just so happy and I wasn't thinking about how tired I was. I was just thinking about seeing everyone, and I'd waited so long to see them, so I was just really excited.
On the first day in Canada, we traveled to Crawford Lake Conservation Area, where we got to explore the longhouses, as well as play a friendly game of a native Canadian sport, lacrosse. On the first day in the Netherlands, we explored Apeldoorn using GPS devices. Then we worked together to create artwork.
We are painting the world as you would see it from outer space. There's no borders. We kind of do whatever we want. It's our image.
Our mural is now hanging in City Hall in Apeldoorn. Then we headed to the gym to try out a Dutch sport, korfbal.
And we played korfball.
Yeah.
It was exciting.
She was so good at it.
It was a really fun and exciting sport, and it was a really neat experience to try. In the morning, the students followed us in our daily routine of attending school.
We visited a Canadian school, which was quite different from ours.
In the afternoon, we headed to the local curling club to try another Canadian sport, curling.
Something that I tried in Canada was curling, and it was really fun.
It was a real challenge, but it was so much fun. In the Netherlands, we followed our partners to school to see what life at their school was like.
So we were at the Monkey Zoo.
Apenkool.
We got to see a bunch of different types of monkeys and also interact with them.
And monkeys are so cute. Okay, so we were back at Edison School. We're in the kitchen and we were each given recipes and we are cooking lampjes with these little things. So they're just like little spring rolls.
Alright, I'll get started on this.
It was really great being able to cook with everyone, and all the food tasted so good. We spent our morning touring around downtown Toronto as well as Chinatown. Then we headed to the world-famous CN Tower, where we got an amazing view of the entire city.
We're outside at the CN Tower.
Oh, it's so cool.
It's great.
Okay, something that was different in Canada was Toronto, because it was a very modern city, and we have Amsterdam, and that's very old, so it was very nice to see the difference. We're in Amsterdam!
We're gonna go shopping and get lots of stuff, and lots of gifts, and lots of presents, and shopping!
We spent our morning doing a walking tour of Amsterdam.
Hi. We're at the Rijksmuseum now in Amsterdam.
Rijksmuseum.
Rijksmuseum. Yeah, she can say it properly.
At the Rijksmuseum, we saw beautiful paintings, including the famous Night Watch. Then we headed back out into the market for some shopping before it was time to go home. In the morning, we went to the Butterfly Conservatory and got to see all the beautiful butterflies.
My favorite group activity was Niagara Falls.
Then we traveled on the Maiden of the Mist boat ride through Niagara Falls.
It's awesome. A little wet, just a tad.
Okay, my favorite crew activity was Niagara Falls because it was very beautiful and I never saw it.
We had a very serious afternoon as we traveled to Vught concentration camp.
Reminder for us is sort of why people were so engaged in the war, from Canadians to other allies to the Dutch resistance. We're going to see a place where a concentration camp was set up, and it was not a death camp like Auschwitz or Bergen-Belsen, but it was set up almost for a more nefarious purpose as a worker transit camp.
In Burlington, we attended a ceremony celebrating the sisterhood between our two cities. We even buried a time capsule commemorating our time on the exchange. It was buried in our new Apeldoorn Park in downtown Burlington.
Thank you very much. Good.
In the evening, there was a reception for the students as well as dignitaries from both cities. At this time, I got a chance to talk with the mayors from both of the cities.
The exchange between Burlington and Holland and Apeldoorn is very important because we have historical bonds together, of course, of the Second World War. The Canadian were the liberators of my city, Apeldoorn.
I think it's phenomenal. We have 16-year-old high school students from both Burlington and Apeldoorn. And I think it's wonderful that our youth are really maintaining and enhancing the memories of what happened during the Second World War.
In the Netherlands, we attended a memorial ceremony at Holten Cemetery.
My name is Bas de Blok van Gelderland.
My name is Melanie.
Have created a soldier profile and now we have to go find our person.
Here we placed profiles that we created of a soldier at their final resting place.
So my favorite group experience when I was in Holland was going to Holten, going and being able to see all the graves and hear all the stories of the soldiers, which was very touching.
Our last day was a very emotional day as we said goodbye to our partners and our host families.
Try not to listen too much.
Exchange means a lot of things, but firstly it means friendship because you make so many new friends on the exchange. Burlington and Apeldoorn have this great friendship that I didn't really know about or understand until I went on the exchange. And after being part of the exchange, I can really understand and appreciate the friendship that we have. The exchange means family because when you're on the exchange, you may not understand it now, but when you're on the exchange, you are truly a part of your partner's family. It's like having a completely second half of your family. And I am so grateful to have another family in the Netherlands. I really like Canada and I can't wait to go back.
I love the Netherlands and I can't wait to go back. Okay, I love Canada, I can't wait to go back.
I love the Netherlands and I can't wait to go back.